This is White Mountains Today.
All right, then welcome back to White Mountains Today. We have a crew on the couch here from the Mount Washington Valley Science Fair. We have Matt Cormier. Did I say that right,
Yeah.
Matt? Okay, Allison Bean, and of course Clay Groves. Welcome back to you, Clay. A lot of people might know you from Fish Nerds, but different cap today.
I always wear different hats because I have this going on and I have to cover it up. So.
Well, you look very stylish.
Thank
so
you.
Welcome to you all. Mount Washington Valley Science Fair. Clay, let's start with some specifics with you. How long has this been going, and what is the big day?
All right, so this is the 9th annual Mount Washington Valley Regional Science and Technology Fair. It's been going on for 9 years, right, which is exciting. And I've been at every single one. I've done every job from being in the board to organizing judges to being on the teacher side of it. So I always get really excited for the science fair. And the goal really is to get everybody excited about science. If you don't understand this, science to all of us is the most important thing in our lives, whether you like it or not. Everything you do is driven by science and technology. So getting kids excited about the process and what science is all about is what we're all about.
Right, because even if people are like, well, I love to read, there's a science behind how you can read, what your brain is doing while you're reading.
How the book is made.
Right, exactly.
Everything.
So
Yeah, I mean, what we're reading on our devices, everything. It's great.
I love science, and there's so many, what I like about science is that it is important to everybody, but you can sort of tailor it to your own experience, your own likes, and that's we're going to bring in the kids here. Matt, your science project, tell me a little bit about it and why you got into it.
Okay, so I am measuring speed, or how speed is affected by air pressure in a bike tire.
Okay, so they're going around, you're riding around town, and you want to go faster or a further distance. Now, did you get your results yet, or is this something that we're going to have to wait for the science fair?
You're going to have to wait till the science fair to find out.
Okay, great. And how long was your test?
It only took about an hour.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful to know, actually, because I think some kids might be intimidated for a longer project. Some really get into it, but if they're just breaking into it, an hour project, that's great.
I think you want to keep in mind the actual experiment maybe only took an hour, but there's a huge process behind it. And science fairs
testing.
aren't won and lost in the experiment. The experiment is kind of like, I call it the Bambi factor. It's cute and cuddly, it draws people in. But really what we learn in the science is scientific process, methodology, background research. The stuff you learn is where you win the science fair. The experiment itself is kind of, it's the really fun parts. That's what we want to talk about, but it's that process that's really important.
See, for me, it's the big reveal. And Matt, you're not going to give us the big reveal here because we have to go to the science fair to check it out, so that's very cool. And you got into it because you like biking.
Yeah, I like mountain biking.
Excellent. So mountain biking, not road biking. So was this on trails that you did your testing?
No, I actually did the test on a tarred road, a paved road, but I was using a mountain bike.
Oh, good. So a little bit more of a constant that you didn't have to deal with terrain and that sort of thing. So very cool. All right, Matt, looking forward to seeing the results. And Allison, good morning to you. You had a little bit of a different experiment going on. Tell me about it.
I tested color blindness in horses.
That is so cool. Now, what drew you to that?
I've been riding horses for 10 years.
Great.
Almost. So I just,
You wanted to actually work with horses, right?
Yeah.
Find out why would you want to know about color blindness.
Well, I
in
wanted
horses?
to know what I should wear while I'm riding, or sometimes we make our own jumps, kind of.
Oh,
like the poles. There's different colored strips of colors. And so I might think about what colors that I'm putting on, so
That's so cool. So the horse can actually see it better. Now, how many horses did you test, Allison?
I tested 3 horses.
3 horses. And how long did you test the horses for? Was it a day?
Well, we did it in 2 segments on Friday afternoon, 2 weeks in a row, and so each horse took about a half an hour, I think.
A half an hour?
Yeah.
And you did it with buckets, different colored buckets?
Yeah.
And you sort of saw which one would go to the buckets, and you said that out of the 3 horses, the younger one was a little bit more distracted, but we're going to have to wait for the results, right, to find out at the science fair. Now, Clay, again, tell me about the science fair, the day, and how kids can get involved, and parents.
Right. So we are. So you can go to mwvscifair.org to register, and there's still openings. we have kids from 7th through 12th grade in the science fair.
Awesome.
Top prize like $500, right?
What?
Cash in your pocket that day, right?
Wait, I can't
Crazy.
get in on this then.
No, but here's the cool thing is, so all these students can register and get in on the projects. You can go to the website. Everything you need to do it is on there. We are regional, so anyone who wants to come can come.
Because where are you guys from? Matt, where are you from?
I go to Kennett Middle School.
Kennett Middle School. Great. And how about you,
I'm
Madison?
from Wolfboro, and I go to Kingswood.
Wow, so you had to make a little journey this morning.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and we have kids from Maine and from southern New
nice.
Hampshire. This is the biggest science fair in New Hampshire, so it's a really big deal that you guys are doing this, and it's exciting. But MWVSciFair.org. Register as soon as you can. We're only taking 300 projects this year. We've in the past gone up to 500.
Wow.
And we find that it's almost too much for us to manage.
I imagine it's hard to get through all the projects in a day.
And speaking of which, we need an army of judges and volunteers on May 12th to be available. So go to that website. You can register to volunteer or to judge. We'll train the judges and get them all ready to go, and that's kind of how we kind of move it forward. But it's totally fun event. Really, for the community, the most important thing they could do is show up that day and kind of cheer these kids on, because they work really hard to show off what they've learned.
And this is all going to be at the Tech Village. The whole building is going to be devoted to this.
Right. Grand State College shuts down classes that day, and it's just science fair all
Wonderful.
day. And it's a ton of fun. You
Yeah,
know, feed you
that is
guys
fun.
and have a good time.
You get fed, what'd you say?
The kids will get fed.
All the kids get fed.
No,
okay.
there's plenty of food there. Grown-ups can buy food.
Okay.
But it's all day event. Students will be judged in waves. But the event goes from 9 a.m. until 7:30 at night, with awards following. And there's tons of different award levels and different things that kids can do and show
And get
off.
excited about science. Well, is this your first science fair for you two?
I was gonna do it last year, but
You fired
I
up
don't know.
this
I
year.
was a little nervous.
Yeah,
last year,
well,
but-
I can imagine anytime you're presenting in front of people, kind of like this show, it's something that you're not used to. But I tell you about, you come back next year, because she's still eligible, right? 7th to 12th, and you're in 8th grade right now. So you can come back next year. This will be cake. You'll be like, I'm a professional now. But the science fair, it is true. You learn how to present, you learn what works, and hopefully, is this your first science fair?
Oh yeah, it's going to be. I did the
Okay.
invention fair last year.
Ooh, all right. So you have a little experience.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, good luck to you both. Have a lot of fun with it. I'm sure that you learned some cool stuff along the way, too.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for joining us. And Clay, thanks so much for everything you do for this Mount Washington Valley Science Fair.
Oh, we love it, and we get excited for these guys, and it's because their first year, so they don't know how big a deal this is, but it's a huge deal that you're doing
Don't
this.
get them all nervous
You
now.
should be nervous. It's going to be great.
They're gonna start sweating.
And there's a real skill to presenting, and I think that being able to stand up and dress nicely and talk about what you've learned is a whole different skill than just learning, and
Absolutely.
it's really valuable to these guys, and we're just so excited about it. So May 12th. Everyone in the community should show up. We need an army of volunteers. So go to MWVSciFair.org. If you are in a school and you're a student and you want to get in the program,
Yeah, it's still time.
register now, because you're gonna be left out.
There's
and-
only about 50 spots left. So, and it's a lot of fun, great learning experience, and there's a prize that you can shoot for. But again, the whole experience is
Yeah,
kind
there's
of
lots
the
of
big
prizes,
reward.
but
So.
yeah, it's all about building that science community and showing the value of STEM education.
Wonderful. Well, Clay, thank you again. And kids, good luck, and thanks for joining us this morning. You did great.
you.
And folks, we'll be back. We have more here on White Mountains Today.